Imagine a trench 3 times longer than the Panama Canal carved through Central America, the Nicaragua Canal. This isn't science fiction but a multi-billion-dollar plan to transform global trade, letting the world's largest ships cross between oceans. The idea dates back centuries, but in 2013, Nicaragua granted a 50-year concession to Chinese businessman Wang Jing and his company, HKND. A groundbreaking ceremony in 2014 promised prosperity for one of the poorest nations in the Americas. The canal would stretch 173 miles with deepwater ports, a free trade zone, and an international airport, at a cost of $50 billion. Supporters called it Nicaragua's ticket out of poverty. But questions quickly surfaced. Who was Wang Jing? Where would the money come from? Was this a business deal or a strategic move by China? Wang Jing, a telecom tycoon with no experience in mega projects, seemed an unlikely leader. Many suspected China's government was quietly involved, making the canal part of a larger global game. As excitement faded, skepticism grew about the project's true motives and consequences. The world watched, wondering if this dream could ever become reality, or if the cost would be too high. The stage was set for a gamble that could reshape a nation and the world. For Nicaragua, the canal was a promise of jobs, new industries, and a booming economy. The government claimed it would double GDP and lift families out of poverty. But behind Nicaragua's hope was China's ambition. A Chinese-financed canal would give Beijing influence over a vital trade route, reducing reliance on the US-controlled Panama Canal. For China, it meant securing shipping lanes and projecting power into America's backyard. The economic logic was clear: bigger ships, lower costs, and a strategic edge in global trade. But Nicaragua was betting its future on a foreign power and a single, massive project. The risks were real. What if the benefits flowed mainly to China? What if the project failed? The dream of prosperity came with the risk of dependence, and the fear that Nicaragua's hope could become a nightmare. The alliance of hope and ambition was fragile, with the nation's future hanging in the balance. At the heart of the canal's route lies Lake Nicaragua, Central America's largest freshwater lake and a vital ecosystem. The plan called for dredging a massive channel through this pristine lake, threatening rare species and drinking water for millions. Environmentalists warned of catastrophic damage, toxic sediment, destroyed rainforests, and fragmented habitats. Nearly 1 million acres of rainforest and wetlands would be lost, endangering jaguars, monkeys, and countless birds. An oil spill could poison the water for generations. Tens of thousands of people, indigenous communities and farmers, faced forced displacement. The government gave HKND sweeping powers to seize land, sparking protests and unrest. Supporters claimed technology could limit the damage, but critics doubted it. No independent environmental assessment was made public, fueling fears of hidden costs. The central question: can a project this big ever be truly green, or is environmental destruction inevitable? For many, the canal was a threat to their land, water, and way of life. The canal wasn't just about trade, it was about power. For over a century, the US has dominated Central America, with the Panama Canal as a symbol of its influence. Now a Chinese-backed canal in Nicaragua challenged that dominance, raising alarms in Washington. US officials questioned the project's transparency and viability, but deeper fears lingered. Could the canal's ports one day host Chinese naval vessels, shifting the region's security balance? China's move was strategic, leveraging economic power to gain influence in America's backyard. For Nicaragua, playing the superpowers against each other was risky, potentially trading one dependency for another. Other nations watched closely, wary of environmental costs and regional instability. The project forced a reassessment of global power, as China emerged as a challenger to the US in its own hemisphere. The canal became a symbol of a shifting world order. Despite the fanfare, the Nicaragua Canal remains unbuilt, a ghost project. Years passed, but construction never truly began. The promised $50 billion never arrived. Wang Jing's fortune dwindled, HKND went silent, and the project stalled. Technical and financial hurdles proved immense, especially after the Panama Canal's expansion reduced demand. For Nicaraguans, the canal left a legacy of division, broken promises, and lingering threats of land seizure. The law granting HKND sweeping powers remains, but the dream of prosperity has faded. The canal is now a cautionary tale about mega projects lacking transparency and public consent. As China's influence grows, similar projects may emerge, but the lessons of Nicaragua remain clear. The world still waits for an answer. Was this a dream deferred, or a warning for the future?